Hi there! Welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel, where I talk about how much I love books and reading and collecting and buying. Today I'm going on a book shopping trip. I'm going to one of my favorite places. It is a charity bookshop to benefit the library, and it's really fun. It has really changed over the years. They have had to expand multiple times into the storefronts next door in this strip mall because there's so many books and so many shoppers, and they just keep running out of room, and I love it. It's so much fun. I think it's great because people who don't want some books, they've got some things that maybe they're not going to read again, or whatever reason, they donate them. The proceeds go to the library, and that means that frugal people like me can find new books and find them a new home. It is a little bit of a drive, so I often take requests from my friends who don't have time. I have a bunch of requests from the moms this weekend, and I have a list of popular fiction that I've been looking for, things that I saw reviews for, people recommended, and then I'm always on the hunt for something rare or special. My favorite illustrators, my favorite authors, books that I read as a kid are my favorite, something that I loved when I was young. I like to have a special edition of those, and you just never know what treasures you'll find. Let's go see what it's going to be today. And I really loved the bookstore has really changed. They used to have these huge bins of books waiting to be shelved. So sometimes in the aisles, it was a little bit rough getting through or around people or all the books. It's exciting because that means they're doing really well and there's plenty of books to put on the shelves, but it can be a little hard to navigate. But today, very few books hanging out waiting, and there were actually some blank sections on the shelves, which made me wonder, are they selling a ton? I hope that's what is going on. I found some great things. I found a friend of mine mentioned it's back to school time. One of her kids, the teacher has an Amazon wish list, and she told me about it and told me some of the things on it. And I found one of the things is the Magic Treehouse 1 through 28 boxed set, and they had it at a great price. It is clearly brand new. I think there was probably some shrink wrap that has been removed, but other than that, perfect condition. And I just love that we have somebody didn't want it or didn't need it, and we have somebody who specifically said they want it, and we're just gonna. This was $30, but at this bookstore, if you spend more than $50, you get 10% off, which is a fun goal. And $30 really helped me get over the finish line. So 10% off means this was $27 plus tax, which was well under what it was available online new, and the recommended price is $140. So a bargain. Made me feel really good. I also found a vintage Agatha Christie. I'm really excited about Agatha. I'm all things Agatha right now. I have a ton that are actually waiting to be read, but I can't pass up. This was $3. It's a book club edition. You can see in this one, it actually says book club on the dust jacket. That just means it's a reprint. They took some frugal steps to make it a little more affordable in the printing process. And then because they had subscribers, they knew how many they needed. So usually the book club edition is a little bit more affordable, but it does mean often book club editions not really sought after. So a used bookstore will often say they don't accept book club editions, but I do, and I'm really into Agatha Christie, and I'm super frugal, so there's no way I can afford a vintage copy of the real ones. I have a couple that I've come across, but I'm happy with a book club. I also found Tokyo Vice. I really enjoyed this miniseries, really well done, and I want to read the book because there's a book version. So of course I want to read it. And I have a feeling it's the life story, first person of a journalist. So I have a feeling it's going to be well written. This was just a couple dollars. I found a friend of mine asked for Choose Your Own Adventure, and I found these guys, the Oregon Trail Choose Your Own Adventure, based on the computer game that was very popular in my youth. And I checked with her and she said, oh yeah, that looks cool. So we found those for her. Those were $1.50 minus 10%. This is hilarious. My husband is very taken with the concept of the Instapot. I find it overwhelming and intimidating. But we were visiting recently and his brother has one. So we used it. We made dinner together a couple nights. We got to use it a little bit. And I mentioned this to a friend of mine that I do not understand why my husband is enamored with this item. And she said, oh, do you want mine? Because someone gave it to her, probably never been used. And she also finds it very intimidating. So we need one. She had one. A match made in heaven. And I found the Instapot cookbook just to get started. It was only a couple dollars, and I feel like that is fine. I consider that one like I'm renting it for a little while for $2. I'm probably not going to hang on to this book, but just to get me a little bit comfortable with it, and then I can donate it to probably a book sale. This has been on my list for a while. Jennifer Weiner, That Summer. I don't know why. I think I must have read a review probably. This is just fun fiction, but I'm excited, and it was only a couple dollars, so that seems fine. And this is really cool. The Wind in the Willows, with illustrations by Arthur Rackham, written by Kenneth Grahame. This is one that I definitely read as a kid. I love it. I also love Arthur Rackham. I have a video of a lot of my Arthur Rackham illustrated books, and I'll put a link to that. It is Arthur Rackham, wonderful, talented, beautiful illustrations, a little creepy and strange, which is one of my favorite combos. So I have a bunch of his stuff. I actually have a copy of this book, The Wind in the Willows. This is a book in the slipcase. I have seen many copies of this. Very rare to find both. This is a nice edition. Got a little embossing. This is Heritage Press. Heritage Press is a fun publisher. They reprinted a lot of things in the slipcase, very similar to the Folio style. And I have a video on this also. I'll put a link to that, of the ones that I have that are Folio and Heritage Press. This book, let's see, what is your copyright? 1962. This has been reprinted, and it lists the number of times. It's been reprinted a lot of times. I think Heritage Press is no longer in business, and I think it was also a subscription type thing where you got a new book every month, and it lists how many copies they printed. Many times this has been reprinted. I rarely have seen it with the slipcase, and I actually have a copy of this book, also Heritage Press. This one is earlier, 1952. But they always use the slipcase, so I think that's probably what's going on. But I don't have the slipcase, but I do have the dust jacket on this one. The one that I bought now has the slipcase and no dust jacket, but guess what? Fits in perfectly. So I'm basically going to upgrade my edition with $6, and I can sell the book for a couple dollars. I think these sell for maybe 5 to 10 range on eBay, so I'll find a new home for that, and then I will marry up the one that I have with the dust jacket. I put a Brodart cover on this. That's the white shiny. It's to protect the dust jacket. I have a video about how to put the Brodart cover on, and that's a brand. There are many different makers, but it's my favorite one. And that means that you can see right here, there's a little bit of loss here. The dust jacket is missing a tiny bit, but when you put this on it, it just looks perfect and it keeps it from losing any more, or basically keeps it safe. So I love the Brodart, and that means look how great this is going to look. So great on my shelf. I love it. This illustration is fantastic. Classic Arthur Rackham. Wonderful. So I got some stuff to read. I got some practical things. I got some things for my friend. Some things are going to go to a teacher. A great day all around. And I spent just over $50, so I got that 10% off. So I feel really good in my frugal jeans. Feel pretty good about this. And it's really a fun trip. It was really good. It was a nice vibe. It was really enjoyable. I do not need more to read. I have plenty to read, but I love finding a new book to put on the shelf. So it was really great. I haven't made one of these videos in a while, and it was really fun to have a reason to do it. So I want to thank everybody who subscribed, everybody who sent me comments. I love hearing what people are reading and collecting. It really does kind of make my day. So thank you to everybody who's done that. Thanks for having a nice little positive part of the internet where we talk about our books. I appreciate everybody else who is making bookish YouTube videos. And just, yeah, thank you. And have a really good time. Happy reading.